She was hired to be a part of the player developmental personnel for the New Orleans Pelicans to go along with Swim Cash, who was hired by the Pelicans earlier this year as well. So once again, man, the NBA is just always ahead of the game, bro. If you have the talent, they'll give you an opportunity. Race, sex, gender, be damned.
Yeah, imagine that, man. Imagine having people that are hiring qualified people no matter what they look like, no matter what their gender is. You know, imagine that. Imagine having people doing that. Crazy thought, huh? Nah, I love it, man. Yeah, I mean, I love it, man. And, you know, I get so tired of people making these little side and slick comments, you know, trying to throw shots at moves like this. Look, man, you know, if you know the sport, you know the sport. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. You know, basketball, if you can shoot, if you can help, you know, a team out, you know, if you can add any kind of value to an organization and you're qualified, you should get an opportunity. I mean, you know, they just pretty much, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, and I think, and I've never experienced it before, so I definitely could be wrong, but I would think as an athlete, if a female coach comes to teach me basketball, and I know she played this game her whole life at a professional level, and she knows the game, meaning like, I don't know, this example would be like she tells me how to an out-of-bounds play. She shows me how to properly run the out-of-bounds play and how to get myself in the best position to score, and I do that and it works. Once that happens, I think it's all bets are off as far as like, oh, I'm not going to listen to you because you're a female. Oh, I'm not going to listen to you because you're from, I don't know, the Middle East or from India. If you know the game, you know the game. And once it's proven that you know the X and O's, the strategy, the how to get my body and mind right to be at my maximum, perform my best, I think once that's proven, even though you can say, oh, it shouldn't have to be proven, but it does for everybody. You have to prove yourself that you can do the job. Once people see that part, it's a wrap. You're good to go. The bond's established. I mean, think about the big three with Lisa Leslie being a coach, Nancy Lieberman being a coach, and both of the female coaches in the big three have won the last 2 championships. But they also are both coaches that played basketball their whole life at a high level, Hall of Fame, Olympic level. If you show that you have the skills, once you do that, the players are gonna listen to what you have to say. Because at the end of the day, an athlete's gonna listen to the person that can help them be the best athlete they could possibly be. And they're not going to really care if you're black, white, male, or female at all. That's just my feelings on that whole subject.
Yeah. No, like I said, man, if you're qualified, you should get an opportunity. So, I mean, that's pretty much is what it is. I mean, I'm not sure anybody that kind of struggles to understand that. I don't really have anything for them.
Yeah, nor should we. Now, the biggest boy in town when it comes to sports, of course, we know NFL is king, and the NFL season has been rolling. We had a really good Thursday night football game. We saw the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Green Bay Packers. We have a big week coming up with the NFL as well. But I want to start the conversation off with the NFL on a topic that has been, I've seen it around on social media a lot this week, and it's also something we're not used to, because, I mean, shame to say it, but we're just not used to it. We haven't had a lot of it. We haven't had a lot of it ever, actually. I was going to say the last couple of years, but actually we haven't had a lot of it ever. And that is people of color playing the quarterback position in the NFL. So I'm talking about black quarterbacks. So right now in the NFL, we have 9 teams that have starting quarterbacks that happen to be African-American, and we also have another 8 teams that have African-American quarterbacks on the roster, whether it be second string, third string. And, of course, that's led by Patrick Mahomes, who's the hottest thing smoking, all this big hype about him being a 99 on Madden, and oh, my God. I mean, just think about some of the guys that are playing quarterback right now. Patrick Mahomes. You think about Deshaun Jackson. You think about Deshaun Watson, excuse me. Think about the Redskins, not starting but on the roster, Dwayne Haskins. You have your Jameis Winston's. Dak Prescott is about to get paid, possibly the highest paid quarterback in the league. It's just really nice and refreshing, Pat, to see a different kind of quarterback from the way they play, the way they look. I even throw Marcus Mariota in that combination as well, being Samoan and being from Hawaii, to just have them on the field playing. And the biggest thing I'm seeing is the offensive coordinators in the NFL are adapting their systems to fit the quarterbacks. The way it used to be in the day is, hey, my name is Joe Cardoza. I run the West Coast offense G version, and this is how it's supposed to be run. You take 4 steps back, look at your first read, look at your second read, get rid of the ball, and that's the only way you can run it. And now you see coordinators saying, okay, I get it. You're not really good at the 4-step drop and letting the ball fly. So here's what we're going to do. We have an option of doing some run-pass options. Maybe we can run my offense but have you in the shotgun. Even though I made my offense to be quarterback under center, I'm going to adapt to your talent and your skills, and I'm going to move it to shotgun. And I think coordinators doing that is making the opportunities more prevalent for quarterbacks of color to play the position. And also even ownership. I mean, you got to think about it, Pat. For 99% of teams in the NFL, the quarterback is the face of the franchise. So do these rich, let's just be honest, call a spade, do these rich, wealthy white owners feel comfortable having a Cam Newton with his style and the way he is, having a Jameis Winston be the face of their franchise? And as more people become comfortable with that and have less and less problem with that, you're going to see more and more African-American quarterbacks on the football field. And I think with the success of these 9 guys and their struggles, you have a big sample size of what an African-American quarterback can do. And I think it's only going to help future quarterbacks coming down the line.
Yeah, I mean, I think it definitely is nice to see more represented at the position. We've always been used to, I guess in somewhat recent memory, maybe a handful in the league, but just to see more and more, I think is a good thing. Like you said, offenses are changing for, multiple reasons. They're changing because of they're using the skill set of the quarterback. So when you got a lot of these quarterbacks that are more athletic, quarterbacks of color, more athletic, you're definitely trying to play to their skills. But I think offenses are, they're also changing because players are more athletic on the other side of football too. So, you're not just dropping back, staying in the pocket. You're not going to get all the time in the world now. You got guys are killing people off the line, and they're getting back. So you have to have a more athletic quarterback as well to be successful. But I mean, just a point, they started with, look at like the top 10. I think I was looking at something the other day, like the top 10 quarterbacks that are rated. You talk about Mahomes. I think Russell Wilson was up there. Dak was up there. You got Lamar Jackson. You got Brissett, Deshaun Watson. So when you just look at, some of the top quarterbacks in the league, and then you just see the way they're represented, like you said, you got black quarterbacks playing the position and, playing it well. So it is cool, man. This is a story, of course, and I'm sure I share this same story with a lot of people. But my hero at that position, the Doug Williams. Always have been. Just growing up watching the Skins and being able to actually watch that Super Bowl. May not have been following all the stats that time where I was at, as far as knowing as much as I knew later. Know now watching football, but just at least being able to understand and appreciate that moment when it was happening. To know what he did. Okay. Going in there, starting. Being able to win that. So. Doug's always been like a hero. He's a legend. And then you come along and then you've seen some other names going there, and now we're at the point where it's more and more. And just getting past the whole part of, even Lamar Jackson, people want him to play running back. Why does that have to come up a lot, when you're talking about a black quarterback? Why do people so much want to change their position? It's just getting away from that. And just appreciating that this is the position that they want to play. This is what they can be successful at. Like you said, making changes around them to help the team out as well. We don't always have to force them to play another position just because some people either don't want to accept it or haven't been used to it.
Yeah, I mean, we know the usual stereotypes, man. My offense is too complicated. A quarterback, I'm not even going to say black quarterback, it's a quarterback of color, period. Because we're seeing the football, the color of people that play football and races has changed over time as well. So I think a lot of people, that's one of the hangups is they can't read the defense properly. They don't have the mental capacity to understand the playbook. They can't audible the plays, and we're seeing more of that go away. I mean, I'm not going to lie. It was a little bit of a shock to me when I first was introduced to Dwayne Haskins, and people are talking about how he's not very mobile. He stays in the pocket. He has a shotgun arm. I remember hearing at least one or two people on either podcasts or television say that he was almost like I'm not going to say skill set wise, because obviously he's a rookie. He has a long way to go. But they said his level of preparation and how he likes to study is almost like a Peyton Manning like. So people are calling him a baby black Peyton Manning. And that's something I never equated with a quarterback that was African American because it was beat over my head over all these years of they're going to be Randall Cunningham, they're going to be mobile, they're going to get the ball and run with it. Passing is a second or third thought in their mind. So to have a quarterback that looks like me, that wants to read defense, stay in the pocket, take what's there, run the offense the way it's supposed to be run, that also is new. That's a sad thing because it's 2019. If I'm just going to be honest with you, that was the first time I had heard, besides a Warren Moon that comes to mind. Even Warren Moon was a little mobile. But Haskins would much rather be in the pocket and pick you apart with his arm than run around crazy. And Deshaun Watson, to a certain degree, is the exact same way. So we're even starting to see a new version of the African-American quarterback in that aspect as well.
Yeah, and I think if we all sat back and we said, all right, in the perfect situation, what would we rather have? I think, like I know me, I would love to have a quarterback that can make all the throws and he's going to run when he has to. So have that ability, to be able to do it. But I just think when we look at all kinds of stuff, injury, put yourself in a situation where you're going to get hurt when you need a pocket, being a target for defenses. I think most people would like to have pass first, but like you said, have that ability in that gear. And that's what a lot of these quarterbacks are giving us, that opportunity that if they got to get out of Dodge, they'll get out of Dodge. If they have to make a big play, they'll make a big play. But I don't think we want to see a quarterback taking off and running all the time. And I think that's probably what was the frustrating part with Lamar Jackson. Now, maybe Baltimore did that. What Harbaugh was probably doing was giving him a chance to get comfortable. But they knew that wasn't going to be it. And that's why I think Lamar is kind of taking pride in showing people that, hey, I can't pass. But maybe getting me out there to play last year wasn't really quite ready for everything. But now that you've seen time go by and he's able to work with that offense, able to work with the coaches, able to pick up some more things, he's showing you that, hey, I can make these throws, I can do these things. And he's proven it. He has another opportunity to prove it tomorrow, but he's already looked great this year. Russell Wilson's a guy, he had a couple different things on him, too small. Would he be able to make the throws and be back there? He's proven that when he's came out. Cam's probably a guy that took too many shots. Not always when he's running, but he's got a little beat up. But still, he can show you he has the ability, to make all the throws that a lot of these other guys are making in the league too. So, I'm excited. I'm excited for that position in the league. I'm excited. Go back to Haskins real quick in Washington. And that was a lot of talk about Haskins. And I know someone who's been close to the Ohio State program, who knows people there, knows coach there, has been up there. And, he was telling me, and we've talked about this before, he's telling me, if Haskins has to move, he's going to move. And he showed us a little bit of that in the preseason. But I'm just excited to have him as a quarterback because of who he is, what he looks like, his ability. I'm excited to have him here in Washington. And Doug's right in the building. So there you go with that one, too.
Yeah, no doubt on that. Sticking with the NFL, I want to get choice. I know we have a lot of games going on tomorrow, so it's 1 o'clock on a Sunday. You got your drink of choice, whether it's brown liquor, white liquor, or beer. You got a nice thing of wings, some fries. What is Patrick Warren's game of the week for tomorrow in the NFL?
What I'm watching at 1 may not necessarily be my game of the week because, I'm watching Redskins and Giants at 1. There's no way around that.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm watching that one at 1 o'clock. But as far as if I'm looking at another game, which I think is probably going to be one of the top games, it's a couple, New Orleans and Dallas. So Dallas is 3-0, and I know a lot of people are writing their tickets to the Super Bowl. Our Dallas fans, they're writing their tickets to the Super Bowl, and they're excited. And it's cool to be excited, but Dallas beats New York, Dallas beats Washington, Dallas beats Miami. So I think those are 3 teams that majority of people predicted they were going to win all those games. So I think New Orleans is an interesting game for me this week. Now, they don't have Drew Brees, but Teddy has a week under him of being the starter. New Orleans has a lot of weapons. New Orleans has a talented team. So I think this is the first test for Dallas. So that game right there definitely has probably my interest, probably as much of any other game. If I had to take another game